welcome to Pilates and Yoga with Sue. Today we're going to celebrate our beautiful full moon in lovely Libra. The full moon is occurring in South Africa at exactly 25 to 5 tomorrow morning. It depends where you are in the world as to exactly what time it will be. But what better time to celebrate bringing balance into our body. Libra is all about balance and finding harmony, and yoga really helps us to do that. If you want to find out more about what it means to have the full moon in Libra, because it's also very much around our relationships, please read what I've written in conjunction with this video. So let's begin. We're going to stand at the left side, the right side of our mat, with our feet slightly externally rotated, heels in. Inner thighs touching, hands into prayer. Soften the shoulders, lengthen the tailbone down to the floor, lift the toes, spread them wide and then plant them back onto the floor. And as you push those toes into the floor, just feel the earth energy coming up through the legs, into the pelvis, up into the shoulders. And as you check in with the shoulders, just relax them. Make sure that your heart is open and receptive, neck is long, crown is lifted up towards the sky. And you're going to inhale, and you're going to take your arms up to the sky, and as you do so, you're going to lift the heels off the floor, stretching out the feet, and then lower the heels back so that they touch. And as you do so, you're going to turn your fingers to face the floor and take them down all the way to the floor. Now make sure that you have your hands on a block if you can't reach the floor, or on a book. And you're going to breathe and bend your knees. So you've got to make sure that your weight is supported when you do these knee warmings. And you also want to make sure if you have problems with your knees, that you don't come all the way down. You're only going to go halfway down. So if you can, coming all the way down, inhaling, exhaling, straightening the legs and squeezing those inner thighs together, and inhale, bend. Now as you come down, you're going to open that chest, open the heart, lift the crown, and as you exhale, squeeze those inner thighs together. The legs are active, the upper body is passive, feel that. And then inhale, coming down into your squat. And exhale and stretch. Inhale. You can press into the inner thighs a little to encourage that opening. And exhale and just feel the connection of the inner thighs as you squeeze them together. And feel how that fires right into the core. Inhale. There's an energetic line that runs from the inner heel all the way up the inner thigh and up into the core. Exhale, and that's what you just want to greet when you squeeze those inner thighs together. Inhale. It's all about developing deep awareness in the body. And exhale. Now inhale, bend your knees halfway and walk your hands around to the left. Take your hand onto the outside of your left ankle, keeping your knees bent, and you're going to stretch up your left arm. Hook your left arm behind your back, holding onto your inner thigh, and then turn your head and just let your head hang so that your neck is soft, and you're going to breathe in, bend a little deeper, and as you breathe out, stretch out those hamstrings. So it's inhale, bend the knees halfway, and exhale. So you're opening up your shoulder, but your head is hanging. Inhale, bend, and exhale, stretch. Inhale, bend, and exhale, stretch. Inhale, bend, release the arm, and then walk your hands all the way over to the right side. Now take your left hand, holding onto your ankle, and reach up with your right arm, opening up that shoulder. Take that elbow, bend it, and hook your hand onto the inside of your thigh. Keep your shoulder open, but then relax your neck and drop your head. Inhale, bend your knees, and exhale, stretch. Inhale, bend. Exhale, stretch. Inhale, bend. Exhale, stretch. Last one. Inhale, bend. Exhale, stretch, and then release your hands back to the floor. Squeeze those inner thighs together and lift the pelvic floor, lift the navel, and roll up with that squeeze in the inner thighs, hands together in prayer. Come up really slowly, keep your chin tucked for a moment, just to let your blood pressure stabilize, and then take your hands up, pointing those fingers up to the sky, keeping the shoulders absolutely soft, and you're going to go straight into a back bend, opening up the chest, bringing the hips forward. Open up the heart center to that moon, and then come back up again. Breathe in. As you breathe out, you're going to stretch over to the left side, stretching into the right side of the rib cage. Inhale, center. Exhale over to the other side. Inhale, center. Now as you breathe out, you're going to step your left foot out to the side, coming into horse pose. Making sure that you can see your toes and that your knees are not collapsing to the midline, and you've got a slight tuck in the pelvis. You've got your pelvic floor muscles lifted, your navel engaged. You're going to breathe in, and as you breathe out, you're going to twist to the left. Keeping the lower body absolutely still, the hips absolutely still. Inhale back to center. And as you exhale, you're going to twist to the right, holding those hips still where they are. Inhale back to center. Now keeping your head in line with your spine, you're going to slowly bring your entire spine parallel to the floor. And hold it here. Feel the length from the tailbone through the body, through the crown, so you're absolutely straight. Inhale, come back up, and you're going to keep your knees bent and come a little deeper. Turn the hands to face the sky. Breathe in, and as you breathe out, I want you to lift your heels as you take your hands up to the sky, and imagine you holding that beautiful full moon. Breathe in, straighten the legs and bring the hands together in prayer. As you breathe out, turn your feet to face the left, pigeon-toeing your back foot, getting ready to go into triangle. Inhale, take the arms out to the sides, palms facing downwards. And as you exhale, you're going to reach over as far as you can go. And when you can't go any further, you're going to bring your lower arm down, either onto your ankle, onto your block, or onto the inside of your ankle. Taking the other arm up and stretching out those fingers so that you can actually feel the skin stretching over the fingers as you do this. Inhale. Now as you exhale, you're going to lower your top hand, bringing it to the floor, placing your hands on either side of your front foot. Lift the back heel, and then take the black heel as close to the floor as you can go, and bring your fingertips under your shoulders. You're going to inhale, and you're going to flatten out your back as much as you can. Draw those shoulder blades down so there's awareness in the upper back. And as you exhale, bring your torso forward. Now you want to bring your right hip forward and your left hip back, so that you're squaring off to the front of the mat. Inhale, lift your back heel off the floor, bend into your front knee and step that leg back so that you have your left knee in line with your left heel, and lower your knee to the floor, keeping your toes curled under. You're going to raise first the left arm, then take the right arm up, and take your left arm behind, right arm behind. Interlace your hands, bringing your pointing fingers together, and reach your fingers back towards your back foot, but lift your hands away from the floor. Your chin is lifted, but you're not crunching into the back of the neck. You're going to release first your left hand onto the inside of your front leg, and then the right hand, bringing the hands under the shoulders. Lift the back knee off the floor, And keep that back leg straight as you round into the upper back. Push actively into your hands and tuck your chin. Keep your weight on your arms and just gently pulse the body forward and back a few times. Your core is strongly engaged. You're looking under that leg. You're stretching that back leg as far as you can. And then slowly release that knee to the floor. Put the top of the foot on the floor and walk your hands as far forward as you can comfortably go. Stretch your fingertips away from your back foot and release your head as close down. You can just drop the head as far as it will go. Engaging into the core as you bring those hands back, coming either onto your hands or onto your elbows. Keeping the top of your foot on the floor if you can. You're going to lift your knee off the floor. Holding that lift, you're going to twist towards your left leg and take your left arm up. Sorry, towards your I'm getting my lefts and rights mixed up. And then release your knee to the floor, lift that back foot off the floor and reach for that back foot. If you can't hold the back foot, that's absolutely fine. You're still going to be getting a really good stretch. And then release the hand to the floor. Bring the hand onto the inside of your leg. Dig the back toe into the floor, lift the knee, and you're slowly going to swivel around, lifting your front toes as you bring your feet to face the front. And you're going to bring your hands onto the inside of your leg first. Now, here's where you've got to really watch your knees. If you know your knees are strong and you can do it, you can drop your tailbone onto your heel and flex into the right foot. Walk your hands to the middle of the mat. Breathe in, and as you breathe out, you're going to shift over to the other side. Now flex your opposite foot. Walk your hands back over to the other side now, so that you now have your right leg in front. You're going to lower your knee to the floor. And now starting with the right hand, bring the right hand up and bring the left hand up, and then bring the right hand behind, left hand behind to interlace the fingers, pointing fingers extended as you stretch open the chest and lift the chin. Squeezing those shoulder blades together. And then you're going to release first the right and then the left. And you're going to bring your hands onto the floor. Walk them onto the floor underneath the shoulders. Inhale, as you exhale, stretch out your back leg and start to round into the upper back as you take your weight onto your hands. Now straighten that back leg as much as possible. Feel that roundedness in the upper back, and I want you to feel like you're lifting your rib cage and your navel to the sky. Release the knee to the floor. Walk the hands forward as far as they'll go and stretch yourself as long as you can. Releasing your head down as close to the floor as you can. And then walk your hands back, coming onto either your elbows or back onto your hands. Lift your back foot and put the top of your back foot onto the floor. You're going to lift that knee off the floor and twist towards your front leg, taking that arm up to so the right arm is reaching up to the sky now. Pressing into the forearm of the supporting arm. And then lower your knee to the floor and lift that foot away from the floor just as far as you can and gently reach for that ankle. Release that hand up and all the way back down onto either side of your front foot. Hands under the shoulders, and you're going to lift that back knee off the floor and step that back foot forward. Not too close, at least a leg's length between the 2 feet. Lower the heel as close to the floor as possible and lift your chest up, flattening out the back. Breathe in. And as you breathe out, release over that leg. We're going to go from here into the triangle a little differently that we did on the other side. We're going to drop the back heel to the floor so that there's a line from the front heel intercepting the back foot. We're going to twist, taking the hand onto the right hand onto the right ankle or onto the inside of the right ankle, and then slowly engaging into the core, rotating your whole rib cage as you reach up to the sky. Inhale, and as you exhale, lift the pelvic floor, core engages, rib cage wraps the spine as you come back up. And turn the other foot and come back into your horseman's pose. And you're going to step those feet back together, hands back into prayer, so that we can do the entire sequence on the right now, moving over to the left side afterwards. Inhale, salutation to the beautiful moon energy. We're going to inhale, take your fingertips up to the sky and gently go into your back bend. Lift your kneecaps, bring your pelvis slightly forward, tailbone moves down towards the floor. Legs are strong, upper body is pliant and loose and open. Inhale back to center. As you exhale, you're going to take it over to the right this time. First. Opening up the left side of the rib cage. And inhale, back to center. Exhale over to the left, keeping that heart open. Inhale, bring it back up. And as you exhale, you're now going to step your right foot out to the right, straight into your horseman's pose. Pelvic floor is lifted. You've got a slight tuck in the pelvis. Imagine that you're holding that beautiful full moon between the hands. So you can feel the energy play between the palms of the two hands. You're going to inhale, and as you exhale, you're going to twist towards the right, keeping your lower body absolutely still and symmetrical. Just taking it as far as your range will allow. Inhale back to center. Holding that beautiful moon between your hands, you're going to twist to the left. Inhale, center. As you exhale, you're now going to bring your spine parallel and your arms parallel to the floor. Your lower body hasn't changed at all. You still got both knees bent. Inhale. As you exhale, twist to the right. Only the upper body is twisting. Keep your arms absolutely, the distance between your hands and ears the same. Inhale back to the center. Exhale over to the other side. Inhale back to center. Exhale, bring your spine erect. Turn your hands to face the sky. Breathe in, and as you breathe out, you're going to raise your arms up and raise your heels. Coming into a balance. Lift your heels as high as they will go. Inhale and slowly bring your hands back into prayer. Straighten your legs. Now turn your feet to face the right. Your back foot is slightly pigeon-toed. Extend the arms out to the side. Inhale. And as you exhale, lift your kneecaps and lift your pelvic floor. Engage that core as you reach your upper body. Your lower body is still, it is the foundation of your posture. Now you can feel your body is really active. You've got your feet pressing into the floor, feeling the earth. Inhale, and as you exhale, lower that arm down towards the floor. Turn your hip to face the floor. Lower your back heel to the floor and come up onto your fingertips, flattening out your back. Inhale, and as you exhale, legs as straight as you can comfortably get them. Slowly lower your spine down to that leg. And it's not about how close you can get your head to your knee, it's more about your extension of your spine. And you are bringing your right hip towards the floor. Your left hip forward and your right hip back to square off the hips to the front of the mat. Inhale, come up onto the fingertips, and as you exhale, bend your front knee and step your leg a little bit further back so that your right knee is above your right heel. And you're going to first bring your right arm up and left arm up, and then bring your right hand back, left hand back. Interlace the fingers, pointing fingers together, and open up that chest. Lift your hands away from the floor and feel that beautiful opening in the heart. Visualizing again that lovely moon, that beautiful full moon above you in the sky. And then bring your right arm back, left arm back, all the way to the floor, onto the inside of your front foot, hands under your shoulders, lift your back knee, push into your hands so that you bring your weight onto your hands, rounding into the upper back, tuck in the chin, extend your back leg, releasing your heel as far back to the floor as you can. And then lower that knee to the floor, put the top of your foot onto the floor and walk your hands forward. Take your hands as far forward as you can reach. Reaching those fingertips, reach, make your body as long as you can, feeling that deep, deep opening in the hips. Head comes to rest wherever is comfortable. And then engaging into the core to help bring those hands back, come onto the elbows. Top of the foot is on the floor, you're going to lift that knee off the floor and then twist. Taking your right arm up, facing your left bent leg. Now lift up out of that supporting shoulder. Slowly lower that knee to the floor. Lift that back foot off the floor and reach for that ankle. Release the ankle to the floor. Bring the hands back onto the inside of your front foot, curling the back toe under, lift your front toes and swivel around so that you're facing the front. Now here again, if your knees are a problem, you're going to come up quite high with your hands on the block. Otherwise, you can sit onto that heel, flexing into the left foot. Bring the hands to the center of the mat. Take your weight onto your hands as you take yourself over and flex the opposite foot. Walk your hands around so that they're on either side of your left foot now, which is in front. Checking the heel is aligned with the knee. Lower your knee to the floor, keeping your toes curled under. Now you're going to take your left arm up first, right arm up, left arm behind, right behind. Interlace those fingers and point them and lift the hands away from the leg. Breathe into it, softening into those shoulders. And release the left hand and the right hand, bringing the hands onto the inside of the front foot. Lift the back knee off the floor and push actively into those arms, straightening those elbows, taking the weight onto those arms, tucking the chin. Core is engaged, active, vacuum packed into the spine. And then lower the knee onto the floor, lift your back foot and place the top of the foot onto the floor and walk your hands as far forward as you can go, lowering your forehead onto the floor. Walk your hands back, come onto your elbows. Breathe in, and as you breathe out, lift your back knee off the floor, straighten that leg as much as you can. As you twist towards your left knee, taking your left arm up, pressing the forearm into the mat, elbow under the shoulder to support, rib cage lifts, top of the foot presses into the floor, and then lower that knee to the floor, and then bring that foot up and reach for your foot. If you can't hold onto your foot, it's absolutely fine. You're still going to be getting a wonderful, wonderful stretch. And then release that foot and bring the hands back onto either side of your front leg. Dig the back toe into the floor, and you are going to step your foot forward so that you have a leg's length at least between your front and your back foot. Heel releases as close to the floor, back foot is slightly angled. Hands under the shoulders as you lift your chest. Inhale, exhale, and release over that leg. Now you are going to bring your right hip forward and your left hip back. Lower your back heel to the floor and get ready to go into your triangle as you lift your kneecaps to support, core engaged to support, hand onto the inside of that foot and slowly rotate to the front of your mat and reach your arm up to the sky and open up that chest. Breathe in, and as you breathe out, lift those knees before you come up and bring the arm up, reaching forward. And then bring your hands back into prayer. You're going to come back into your horse stance pose, turning your feet out slightly. Bringing your hands out. Breathe in. And as you breathe out, you're going to bring your left foot back to join the right. Back into your original position, hands into prayer. Inhale, and as you exhale, you're going to take your arms up, lifting those heels high off the floor. Now keep your heels off the floor as you bend your knees and bring your hands back into prayer. And as slowly as you can, keeping those heels as close together as you can, you're going to bring yourself down. Hold yourself halfway. Keep that slight tuck. Now reach your crown up to the sky so that your chin isn't jutting forward. Any knee problems, you're going to rather come into a seated position. Otherwise, if you can, you're going to come down, breathe in, and as you breathe out, you're going to twist towards the towards the left. Upper body move is the only thing that's moving. The lower body is staying exactly where it is, so you're not bringing your right knee with you as you twist. Inhale back to center. Now you're going to twist over to the right, and you're not going to bring the left knee with you. Keep those knees apart. Keep lifting that crown up to the ceiling. Inhale back to center, and as you exhale, gently release the heels to the floor, hands to the floor. Bring your knees in front of you, and you're going to breathe in. And as you breathe out, you're going to drop your knees over to the left and look over your right shoulder. Keep your chest open. Inhale, center. Exhale, over to the other side. Inhale, center. Bring your hands onto the outsides of your knees, and you're going to resist by pushing your knees into your hands. Release it, come into a cross-legged position, hands into prayer. Deep breath in, lifting the crown up to the sky. Close your eyes for a moment and just visualize that beautiful full moon in Libra. And just feel the sense of balance and harmony that you have brought into your space, into your body, through your yoga. Feel the left side, the right side, And then take your awareness to your heart center. And as you breathe deeply into your heart center, just planting that seed of peace, harmony and love, setting the intention to take that into the remainder of your day. And then gently open your eyes. And thank you so much, everybody. I'm going to be doing a separate video for a guided meditation relaxation combination, and it's going to incorporate dealing with relationships. So if there is anybody in your space that you're battling with, or maybe not in your space that you're battling with remotely, however, it's just about relationships and finding a way to bring our relationships back into harmony by taking the responsibility within ourselves to do so. So if you're interested in that, you can follow the link for the meditation. And I thank you so much for joining me today, and have a beautiful rest of the day.